Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. I'm going to do a reading for Aquarius energy. And like usual, we're going to do 2 rows. The top row is going to be what people who are harnessing some high vibe Aquarius energy could be doing in their life right now. And the bottom row could be what you could be tempted to do if you aligned with your more shadowy nature, which means you probably align with some other people in the world who are aligned with their shadowy nature, which could be not having hope and faith and belief in your dreams, not looking at life from a higher perspective, kind of making decisions out of fear, insecurity, or codependency, making decisions out of lust or greed or self-centeredness or wanting to look like a shining star in the world. Are we willing to give up our dreams and settle for less than we deserve? Are we willing to stand up for what we believe in, speak our truth? Well, we're going to find out. Could be a struggle just going on within you, within other people in their Aquarius energy. If you're an Aquarius or cross-watching for an Aquarius, you can find out that, oh, you're the one who harnesses high vibe Aquarius energy, and maybe some of the people you're dealing with in the world harness some more worldly focused or more shadowy focused Aquarius energy. Okay. So, the difference between the two readings is the people in the top row, they might have fears and insecurities, but they're listening to their intuition to guide them. The people who are making decisions right now out of their worldly or egoic or shadowy nature are operating from their more worldly foundation and probably ignoring their intuition, thinking that I'll just work with the things of the world and I'm sure everything will be okay. I don't need to listen to my intuition. I'm going to ignore my intuition and I'm just going to keep working with my worldly view of life. So, the people in the top row, we have the Four of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Six of Wands. And people are listening to their intuition. What high vibe people are doing is they're offering themselves that cup of love. We've all been in relationships that didn't work out, where we could have felt like people weren't open and honest and authentic with us, or we felt like people were emotionally manipulating us or indulging in a relationship with us or something. Or they just didn't work out. You know, we weren't on the same page, and there's that undefinable thing that makes you want to stay in relationships with some people and not stay in relationships with other people. So, high vibe people, the difference between high vibe people is instead of aligning with their more worldly nature, which could be, I'm going to go make a decision in my life out of fear or insecurity or pride or ego or pain or heartbreak, high vibe people are listening to their intuition and they're offering themselves a cup of love. And the queens in tarot can talk about our emotional state, and they're offering love to themselves to take the lesson that they've learned from that life experience to love themselves, believe in themselves, grow and mature themselves. You know, we come in contact with all these different people in the world to get clear about what our truth is versus what other people's truth is, and to take the lesson we were meant to learn from that. What did I learn from it? What did I learn about how other people view life, what they're motivated and inspired by, what their dreams are versus what I'm motivated and inspired by, and what my dreams are? And high vibe people are inspired to listen to their intuition, to love themselves. I choose to be in life-giving energy. I choose to love and believe in myself and not give up on my dreams. That I'm going to take action and be inspired to wrap my brain around this game of life. I might be in a mental prison because someone I could have loved, or a place that I wanted to work at, it didn't work out, or someone I loved or I wanted to have move forward with me didn't want to move forward with me, you know, and it's to work through all of that, shed light on the fears and the insecurities, to get to the truth, because the truth sets us free so that we can move forward, and realizing and seeing the truth that if other people aren't willing to work together with us in a just and fair and open and honest, loving manner, then we need to see the truth of that. We go from the 8 down to the 6. That means this 8 of Swords is being in a mental prison about the 2. Oh, this is the 8 of Wands, this 6 of Wands. I thought I called him something else. This 8 of Swords has to do with the 2 of Wands. We had a dream we wanted to come into reality. But it takes 2 people being motivated and inspired to keep moving forward together in the same direction. And some of you could have been in relationships with people where the other people weren't willing to listen to their intuition. They weren't willing to harness high vibe Aries energy or Leo energy, which is being more authentic and vulnerable in the world. Maybe they don't like to be authentically themselves in the world, and they align with their more worldly view of life, and they like to ignore love. So you could have found out, and some people are finding out, that they were in a relationship with someone who's kind of more motivated and inspired by the world instead of listening to their intuition and being more bold and brave and authentic and warm and loving in the world. They might like to ignore love and kind of use their emotions manipulatively in relationships to get what they want. Or they're just more motivated and inspired by the world, indulging in the world, making their life more about money and materialism. Maybe they have a lot of lessons to learn, and instead of moving forward with people who are more bold and brave and creative in Cancer, Pisces, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Leo energy, where you align with your more hopeful, believing, loving nature, maybe their people have lessons to learn about kind of aligning with their more worldly nature. And if that's the case, and they aren't willing, because it's a free will choice, what aspect within myself am I going to align with that I believe I can manifest my dreams into reality? And some people are unwilling to listen to their intuition. They've listened to their intuition because they want to do what they want to do. Shadowy Sagittarius energy of the Knight of Wands is, I don't want to listen to my intuition. I want what I want. I want to go do what I want to do. I want to indulge in what I want to indulge in. And I want to ignore my intuition. The moon can talk about people have things buried beneath the surface, that a truth that they might not want to see, that they might want to keep buried beneath the surface, that they could be more materialistic or worldly focused, that they could be kind of immature, that maybe they like to get in relationships with people who are sad and indulge in a relationship with them, and then hope that the people they get in relationships with have this illusion of who they are, that like they're going to bring a dream into reality, that one day they'll grow up, they'll mature themselves, they'll be more bold and brave, they'll get out of their fear of love, they'll get out of their ego, they'll get out of their emotionally defensive nature, and that one day the dream will come into reality. And so long as people indulge in that illusion about who they are, the relationship works out great. But if one person, the other person in the relationship, if that person is motivated and inspired by love, and they have this creative aspect within them that I don't want to carry this baggage with me all my life. I've got my own fears and insecurities and past pain and heartbreak. I want to let some of those things go. And while they're in a relationship, the other person does that work within themselves to heal from past pain and heartbreak, to love and believe in themselves more than they used to before, and they kind of grow and mature themselves. Well, that's when there can be a problem in the relationship, because they're kind of growing and maturing and ready to move forward in life in a new way and face some of their fears and insecurities, and the other people haven't. And then when the other person is trying to love and encourage them to deal with their fears and insecurities, to heal from some of their past pain and heartbreak, and the other person's like, no, don't want to do that. I'd rather just keep those things buried beneath the surface. Well, those things that they keep buried beneath the surface end up affecting the relationship. You know, we act differently in our life when we don't have the same fears and insecurities that we had. Say we dated someone for a few years, and when we got in a relationship, we did have some fears and insecurities, because we all do, and we had some past pain and heartbreak we hadn't dealt with. We act differently in that relationship once we have healed from those things. We do feel more bold and brave and confident within ourselves. We have shed some of those layers. We've healed from some of that pain and heartbreak. We're not acting the same as we used to act when we probably first got in that relationship. And if both people aren't doing that work within themselves, and one thought, I thought you would stay here forever and not put work and effort into that, just like I don't plan to ever put in work and effort on that. And that's when there's a problem. The one person wants to move forward and they're kind of up in their head wondering, is this relationship going to move forward like to the next level of relationship? Is this person ever going to heal from some of their issues? Are they going to grow and mature themselves emotionally? Are they going to keep kind of indulging in the same ways of living life? And I'm certain ways of being that, I'm just kind of not attracted to living my life that way. Again, I use this analogy all the time, but it's the only analogy I can really think of. But just like when we're age 15, when we're age 18, when we're age 21, when we're age 25, if someone in that keeps staying in a certain phase of life and like, no, I don't want to grow and mature myself. No, I don't want to take on more responsibilities. I don't want to give up any of the ways of being at this certain age group. Like, this age group is great. I want to keep living here forever. Well, other people do grow and mature themselves, and they put away their more childish ways of being. And the things that motivated and inspired them at those different age groups aren't the same things that drive and motivate them at a different older age group, They've put those things away. They were perfect and wonderful for that age group to go live your life like a 15-year-old or an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old. But when you're no longer in that and you're kind of growing and maturing yourself and hopefully letting go of some of your more immature, indulgent, selfish, greedy, materialistic, or indulgent ways of being, you want to move forward in life differently. And some people could be in those relationships right now and they're just wondering, is this person ever going to grow up and mature? And when you get in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to listen to their intuition, which our intuition, tries to tell us things like, I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's a good idea. I think we did things like that before and it didn't work out, But they're still motivated and inspired by those things and living their life that way, aligning with their more worldly or egoic or indulgent or immature or ignoring love. I just want to indulge in a relationship. I don't want to have to listen to my intuition and do the right thing. I don't want to be more authentic. I might like to hide behind my ego. I might like to make my life more about status or image or whatever. And I thought you were on the same page as me. And now that you've changed, I don't know that I want to be in a relationship with you either. And so, are people being truthful and honest, or are people being secretive? Are people not telling the truth? Did people get in relationships with people and they weren't being honest? Did they never plan to do love? Was it just to create an illusion? Were they trying to emotionally confuse the people they were in a relationship with because there was someone else in their life that they felt like they missed an opportunity with? And if that person ever got out of a relationship they were in, they wanted to go back and get in a relationship with that person? So I think some people are having a difficult time in a relationship. And when we act in our more immature, impulsive nature and we don't listen to our intuition, we might make a decision more out because of fear or insecurity or lust or greed, or just have lessons to learn anyway that some other people have already could have learned. And some people could be communicating to the people in their life who could kind of turn their back to them that, I've given a lot of thought, because when you're 8 swords up in your head and there's a maximum of 10, that means you're thinking about 2 cups of love down in your heart. And some people could be communicating to some of these people in their life that seem to have fear of love or being in a relationship based on love. And they might be telling them that, I don't think my dream can come into reality with you. I'm ready to move forward. And the Six of Wands talks about, I've taken action within myself to get out of the Five of Wands, which can be my own inner conflict, my own egoic nature, my emotionally defensive nature, my fearful nature, my codependent nature, my more insecure nature. I'm ready to move forward in life differently. And I don't want to be held back by my fear or my insecurity or my codependency or money or status or image. I want to go live my authentic life, and I want to be in a relationship with other people who are willing to be authentically themselves, who are willing to grow and mature themselves and face their fears and insecurities and work through those things, to not operate from ego. And some people could be revealing what, was difficult to reveal, because the moon can talk about, sometimes it's hard to speak our truth, And so I think some people are doing that. Let's go see what's going on down in the shadowy energy. We have the Knight of Wands again. And some people are like, nope, not going to do it. It would require me to speak my truth. For some, it would require them to let their more vulnerable nature out to play in the world. And they're like, nope, I have mental conflict about that. I'm defensive to that. If I let my more authentic or vulnerable nature out to play in the world, I could get hurt, and I'm not willing to do it. I'm going to keep indulging and repeating a pattern of not speaking my truth, indulging myself in my ego, the Seven of Wands can be in their ego. I'm more about being an immature player in the world, defensive, to freeing myself from my ego, because our shadow nature is kind of represented by the devil. All the things that imprison and enslave and restrict and confine us, which can be our own thinking, our own fears, our own, I'm sure you know. High vibe Capricorn of the Three of Pentacles is about putting in work and effort to free yourself from those things. Freeing yourself from your more worldly nature, immature nature, indulgent nature. And some people are defensive just to putting in work and effort. It takes work and effort to free yourself from your fears or your insecurities and your past pain and heartbreak. It takes work to be more authentic and vulnerable in the world. And I do think in the Sagittarius energy and the Eight of Swords, I think it is about wrapping your brain around this game of life. That if I go out in the world and I treat people in a balanced manner, I'm just, I'm fair, I'm open, I'm authentic, I'm warm, I just let other people have their free will of how they want to respond. Do they want to respond in kind or don't they? And why wouldn't someone respond in kind? Probably because they've got some things that they haven't dealt with. They have fears or insecurities, or in their pride, or in their ego. Shadowy energy and shadowy emotions can be envious, jealous, competitive, self-centered, whatever. Why wouldn't people respond and interact with people who are trying to be just and fair and balanced? Some people don't want to be just and fair. Some people like the scales tipped in their favor. They want people to indulge them in a relationship. I want to be immature. I want to be defensive or prideful or egotistical or self-centered, and I want people who indulge me being that way. I don't want people who listen to their intuition, who are more bold and brave and confident than me. I don't want to be in a relationship with them. It causes me mental conflict because, I'd have to deal with some of my own issues. So they run away. Some of them just don't want to speak the truth. Some of them, in Five of Swords, Aquarius energy, they don't want to look at life from a higher perspective. High vibe Aquarius is about willing to step outside of societal norms to bring needed change to the world. Standing up for things, that should be stood up for. There's an injustice, And some people are like, nope, I defend the world. I'm inspired by the world. I want to conform to the world. I don't want to step outside of societal norms. I want people of the world to view me a certain way. I have my ego and my image and my status, and that's what's really important to me. And then some people just have mental conflict about looking at life from a higher perspective. Is there more to being on this planet than just what the world says there is? Isn't life about that there is no higher truth or justice to aspire to? Isn't it about the world? And aren't we supposed to have the image and the status and the money and the materialism and people view us as successful? Isn't that the big thing in life? That's what the world tries to tell us. Or isn't life about me indulging myself? I have one lifetime. Isn't it all about indulging myself? The world, I think, is about, look how much the world has changed over the last, since caveman days to now. It's about, and the universe ever evolving. It's about us growing and maturing, just like when we were children to becoming adults. We had to grow and mature a lot during that time. We had to let go of our more immature, selfish, self-centered ways of being. It was about us growing and maturing ourselves to learn to work cooperatively with people in a just and fair and balanced manner. And some people are like, I don't want to do that. I just want to be immature. I want to be indulged. So how the shadowy people are harnessing this energy? They want to keep repeating a pattern of the past. They're kind of immature in their thinking, logic, and reasoning. They do have mental conflict about seeing life from a higher perspective. They might be very competitive in the world. The Five of Swords can talk about people who want to win at all costs. They want that status. They want that image. Aquarius energy in shadow can be, I really want to look like a shining star in the world. I want people to look up and admire me. Isn't that the most important thing in the world, is to look really successful and victorious? It isn't about love. It isn't about doing the things and being in the career field that I really love and that inspire me and motivate me. I'll go take the job that I hate, but it pays me more money. Maybe the job I'd really like to be in, or the people I'd really like to be in relationships with, I don't know if that'll have the money or the status or the prestige, and I really want those things. So I will let go of all those things, and I won't listen to my intuition, probably maybe because I don't believe and have a lot of fear about if they can manifest those things into reality. So I'm going to keep ignoring listening to my intuition and high vibe Aquarius about having hope and faith and belief in myself and belief in my dreams. I have mental conflict about believing in my inner child truth of my hopes and dreams and listening to my intuition. And I've decided I'm going to align with my more worldly, immature nature and decide to win at all costs, even though it might cause me mental conflict. And I'm going to hide from the world. Well, I'm going to be defensive, and I'm going to defend this way of viewing life, and I'm going to hide from the world that I harness these energies in a shadowy way. So I'm going to take action. They are going to communicate to someone, maybe someone else who they view harnesses more worldly Capricorn energy. They don't have to be a Capricorn, but someone else who they think is motivated by the world, who might have a lot of the status and the image and the power and the influence and all those things that they want. And they could tell those people that they have mental conflict about maybe moving on from them, and they want to be in a relationship with them and defend. Well, the Seven of Wands is defending the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is about, it's about moving forward and having a victory. But they want to have a victory with someone else who might either makes their life about the world, and if they make their life about the world and money and materialism and status and image, they would be willing to work together with them. If they can't get in a relationship with that person, then they're trying to find someone else in the world who might be defensive of believing in themselves and believing in their dreams and speaking their truth. And then they might try to get that person to indulge in a relationship with them. Either just for them to indulge, or, the people haven't seen the truth about who they are. And they want to hide from the world that they want to move forward in an investment that maybe they want to move forward maybe in a relationship with almost anyone that makes it look like they've come together with others, like in joy and celebration. Because if they're operating from their shadow nature and they're prideful and egotistical and kind of consumed with how other people view them, they could think that if they are working together with others in a relationship, that somehow that makes them look maybe like they're more victorious and successful than other people, which is not a good reason to get in a relationship. But if they know other people who did move forward and invested in being bold and brave and confident, and those people truly are moving forward victoriously, whether they're in a relationship or not, they could be really afraid that some people in their life who might have left their life, people who harness these energies in a high vibe way, they're competing with them. And they want to look like they're living their life just like those people. It's just that they're creating an illusion of being someone who operates from a foundation of love, is being authentic in the world and being authentic with other people in the world and loving and just and fair and all that. But they know those people could get in a relationship because they have all those traits and characteristics. And those people probably saw the truth of who this person was and they didn't want to be in a relationship with them anymore. So they left their life. And they don't want people to know that people decided to invest in being more bold and brave and confident. And since they weren't willing to do that, those people left their life. And so their shadowy energy is about competing with other people. You're in competitive energy, not in loving energy. And since the other people have moved on in their life, loving themselves, believing in themselves, and they weren't people who were still in an energy of not loving and believing in themselves, which initially they could have been in a relationship, because we all get in relationships at whatever level of fear and insecurity and self-limiting belief we might have at that time. And you kind of could have been on the same page and had some similar wounding. And the only difference is that when other people get in a relationship with people who are like this, who aren't ever motivated and inspired to heal and grow and mature themselves, the other people do that work within themselves. They're in an environment that for quite a long time, it seems very stable and grounded and everything seems great. It's just that the other people are motivated to heal and they do that work within themselves. And then this person is defensive and has mental conflict because now they just can't indulge in a relationship anymore. Those people want them to grow and mature, and they don't want to see the truth or deal with their own fears or insecurities or ego or immature nature, or some of them just have this illusion for some reason, whether they're male or female, that they could have this immature view about themselves. Maybe when they were growing up, people really indulged them in their ego. Or maybe they grew up with other people who are very looked very successful in the world and operated more from their ego, and none of them really grew and matured themselves, and none of them were really like warm and giving and nurturing, and it was all to present this life of ego and living more from your ego. Like, look at the things we have. Look, we got in a relationship. Look how successful we are. But it's never really being authentically themselves in the world and vulnerable. And some people have a lot of mental conflict. That would be to step out of their comfort zone to be in relationships with people who are more authentic and vulnerable and creative and inspired and listen to their intuition, because the other people could have always been people they grew up with that make their life about the status and the image and the money and look how happy we are. But it's all kind of more a facade and an illusion. And then when people are no longer caught up in the illusion of the world or of this person and thinking that just being in a relationship with you is like my dream come true, that's the illusion. The people who are really egotistical and self-centered could be like, everybody should want to be in a relationship with me. If somebody was in a relationship with me, it's like your dreams have come into reality. And maybe they are kind of victorious and successful in the world. And so they think people should just want to be in a relationship with them. Other people, some of these people that are like that, if they had loving people in their life, they're all about having a certain status and image. And if there's someone else that they think they could be in a relationship with, that would get them into that next category of like status or image, and that's what drives and motivates them, they're not interested in investing in being more bold and brave and confident in the world to kind of grow and mature themselves. It's all about the world. And like some of them, it's just because other people saw through the illusion of who they were, and this person wasn't their end all be all. Like, I could never be happy. I'm so fearful and insecure of my believing in myself that if I'm not in a relationship with you, I don't think my dreams can come into reality. And some people like people to be in a relationship and view them that way. Because I guess that would maybe be a very egotistical or narcissistic person. But they are defensive to change. I refuse to move forward. We got here where you have to listen to your intuition, be more bold and brave and confident in the Eight of Wands to move forward in life, to work through your fears and insecurities, step out of your comfort zone, to live your life at the next phase of life. And they're like, nope, my dream has always been to be in a relationship, and just to be in a relationship, to have the status or the image, look successful. And I think I should just be able to indulge in it and probably be kind of immature and self-centered and egotistical and defensive, and people should want to be in a relationship with me anyway. And some people are like, oh my God, yeah, I can't stay in a relationship with you. Some people right now are in a relationship and they're not showing the other people. They're making it think like they want to have a dream come into reality with them, but they're unwilling to move forward, like maybe in relationship or commitment or marriage. I'll work together with you and indulge in a relationship until you're willing to stand up for yourself. And that if I'm not willing to bring that dream into reality and you're willing to move away, I'll keep indulging in it. It's all about me, my wants, my needs, my lust, my greed, my pride, my ego. So long as you're caught up in the illusion and you're in a mental prison about facing your own fears and insecurities and moving on, then I'll keep indulging in a relationship with you. And some people could be married, but it's like some people could even be trying to get someone to get in a marriage with them, hoping if they get them in a marriage with them, because kind of like your ego gets in it, like, oh, we got married, well, now we got the ego and the image and the status in there, and we might have stability and security, I bet you won't leave now. You won't want to blow up the illusion of how wonderful everything was, would you? And once I get you in the relationship with me, then I'm going to indulge in a relationship with you. And if you ever start to listen to your intuition, then I'm going to take some immature action and do some things to get you up in your head so that you come back and focus on nurturing the relationship, trying to make the relationship work out because you want a dream to come into reality. And they're going to say, that's great. You keep putting in work and effort. You stay more focused on nurturing me and the relationship to make this dream come into reality. You don't put in work and effort to heal from your own fears and insecurities and past pain and heartbreak, because then you would want me to, and I'm not willing to do that. And some of you are in relationships with people like that, and you've already moved on, and some of you have already detached from these people, and you're listening to your intuition. You have went through the phase of loving yourself and believing in yourself and worked through your fears and insecurities. You're ready to move forward. Other people are in the midst of a relationship like this. It's kind of like a mismatched relationship. There's other people that are happily on the same page with each other. They both of them could have mental conflict about wanting to be in relationships with bold and brave and confident people, because they both just, again, it's anybody, it could be even the next people, high vibe people get in a relationship with. We're all in a relationship. If we're not being open and honest and authentic and nurturing and supportive and loving and not operating from ego, we can get in a relationship because more out of fear or insecurity or pride or ego. And if that's where they're at, that's where they're at. And both of them could be indulging in it. Both of them could be defensive to believing in their dreams. They both could be hiding if they're that people previously that they went in their shadow energy, not believing in their dreams because other people invested in someone else and didn't move forward with them in a relationship. And that, instead of loving and believing in themselves and being bold and brave, they're kind of repeating a pattern, wanting to maybe feel better, even though it might cause them mental conflict. They could get themselves in a relationship with someone and they really have no intention of thinking it's going to be a long-term relationship. But that could kind of be a little bit of wasting your time, but we've all been there and done that. It might depend on how old you are. And some people don't want to be in a relationship based on love because they could get hurt. They're caught up in for some. Other people, they are very materialistic and they figure, I just use the Knight of Wands can be, I kind of use my charm and my looks and my sexuality to try to get people who have money, who might be heartbroken that a relationship didn't work out. I try to get those people to get in a relationship with me because I'm all about, they could have a lot of fears and insecurities about stability and security in their life. Anyway, the whole thing is seeing the truth and not being an illusion. People show us the truth of who they are. We can keep staying in denial of the truth of who they are, but people show us every day by their actions. Were they an open, authentic, loving, warm person? Did they treat you the way you treated them? Were they kind of immature? Are they someone who's kind of immature, maybe defensive, maybe a little all about themselves, ignores love really and makes their life more about money and materialism? Well, the divine has shown you the truth of who those type of people are in your life, and we can either be in a mental prison about it or we can get out of our ego about it. Why are we in our ego about it? Why, is it part of our worldly wants and needs that make us want to keep staying in that relationship? Do we have mental conflict about moving forward in our life? Well, if the divine has shown us that what job or friendship or relationship we might have been in, because some people are in loving relationships and that's great and they're listening to their intuition. It could just be someone isn't moving forward with them, maybe a child, maybe a friend, because they're just not on the same page and they wish they would move forward with them, but it's like, we wish you peace, but apparently you're not motivated and inspired by the same things. We're on different pages. We're going to keep listening to our intuition, because our intuition has our best interest at heart and is trying to, because if we keep indulging people in poor behavior, they have no incentive to change. And if we've already been doing that and there's been no change, there's going to be some people right now who could be communicating with other people in their life who have moved on in life. And some of the shadowy people don't like that loving people are moving on and listening to their intuition. Some of those people might communicate to people trying to emotionally manipulate them or cause them mental conflict. I don't want you to keep listening to your intuition and try to tempt you to come back and get in a relationship with them. And if you're in a loving relationship, why would you possibly be tempted by someone? Have you not learned, don't we want to be in just and fair and balanced and loving relationships? If we're already in that, why would we be tempted by someone else? If we do, we might have some really hard lessons to learn. So you might have some shadowy people try to communicate with you. If some people had felt sad and got in a relationship with someone and they're starting to see that the people they got into a relationship with aren't the people they thought they were, and that if they keep moving forward with those people, they might do it out of ego because of an illusion they created about how wonderful it was. But the truth is, it's in shadowy energy. And if some of those people listen to their intuition, they won't keep moving forward with those people and they will retreat to offer them self love and to heal so that they can move forward being more bold and brave and confident. And then they'll communicate with other people in the world who they also think are more bold and brave and confident. So, we just have to listen to our intuition about if we're in relationships, why are we in it? Why do we think other people are in it? Are we willing to speak our truth? Are we willing to listen to our intuition? If our intuition is telling us that if you keep going forward in this, why are you going forward in it? Is it ego? Is it defensiveness? If we do ego, we're going to learn some difficult lessons. If we're willing to be truthful with ourselves and love ourselves and believe that we deserve to be in equally balanced, loving relationships, the divine's going to work with us to bring those dreams into reality. But the divine can't bring our dreams into reality if we're still defending an illusion and other people in our life who maybe try to manipulate us or control us or tempt us, or, we have to break free of that and listen to our intuition. So there you go, Aquarius. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.